Welcome to Meaningful Activities to Generate Interesting Classrooms. Section 4, Part 5, Litter and Recycling. Another type of culminating activity you can do involves creating a live event. On page 158, Levels of Student Engagement, you can see that a live event is at the highest level of engagement because students are actually immersed in and experiencing the event. Field trips are an example of a live event. Please locate page 163, Activity, Litter and Recycling. You might do this live event as part of Earth Day or a culminating activity for a unit on the environment. Instead of just talking about litter and recycling, students can actually live it by gathering litter at the school or at a site in the community. For this live event, you would normally gather litter and then graph what we find and discuss what litter can be recycled. However, because of our remote learning environment, we are going to analyze a picture instead. Since you are not actually gathering litter, this would not be a live event on the continuum. It would be an activity. Please remove the beach litter and recycling picture from your course folder. Please go to Canvas, Modules, Section 4, Part 5, Beach Litter and Recycling to find the activity directions and your grade level group members. Use the editable Google Doc assigned to your group to analyze and categorize the litter you see in the picture. Create a graph or chart of your litter categories and develop a way to identify which litter can be recycled. Be creative and find unique and interesting ways to graph your findings. What topics in your curriculum would be a good fit for a culminating activity that involves a live event or gathering items and representing the results? Please locate page 164, Classroom Connections. Could this be a great activity when you study Earth Day? Do you do a lot of outdoor classroom experiments and live events? Do you do an activity where students choose their favorite candy and then they graph the results using the wrappers? Could you encourage students to recycle the item that they can? Could students develop a recycling program for the school or a place in the community? I would like to share the following story with you. For many years, our school cafeteria used plastic trays and silverware that could be washed and reused. Then, one year, they were replaced with styrofoam trays and plastic tableware that came in a plastic bag. We went from needing only 2 garbage cans in the cafeteria to needing 6 to accommodate everything that was now being thrown away. In my classroom, we had been talking about recycling and the environment. My students were appalled with this change in the cafeteria and wanted to do something about it. They discussed protests, boycotting the cafeteria, and walking around with signs. They finally got permission to go from classroom to classroom, talk about the environment, and ask students and teachers to sign a petition to eliminate the styrofoam trays and plastic tableware. I presented the petitions to the principal, and he gave them back to me, suggesting that we take them to the superintendent. The superintendent asked that my students present the petitions to the school board, but she said we would need more than just signatures. We would need facts, because the new system was put in place to save the money it costs to hire a cafeteria worker to work half days to wash trays and silverware. So we went to work amassing data. We found out that, in reality, the cafeteria was losing money with the new system. All the students wrote letters to school board members, and we made our pitch to them in person. 2 days later, a tray and silverware washer was hired and prepared for the styrofoam trays and plastic tableware to be eliminated. 2 other schools in our district stopped the practice as well, since meals were prepared at our school and transported to the other schools. It was great for my students to see that the power of data and information to spur change. This live event showed students how to affect systems in the real world. What are some other live events with real world connections that you could use as a culminating activity? Could you do a home safety check during a list developed in class? Could you raise money to provide something for a needy family during the holidays? Grow plants in a variety of soil, light, and watering conditions. Plant a real garden to provide vegetables for a soup kitchen or as gifts for people. Decide what should be carried in the school store. Or could you feed birds and then observe and record their behaviors? How did this activity demonstrate multiple pathways to learning? Engagement. Did you have flexibility in how you categorized and graphed the information? Action. Did you create charts regarding the data? Expression. Were you able to use your creativity in how you represented the information? Please take a moment to review the activity assets for this activity. Remember, live events tend to be interdisciplinary and very memorable and interactive. The more memorable an event, the more likely students are going to remember what they did and what they learned. These events deepen knowledge and allow students to see the curriculum concepts used in a real-world and authentic manner. This concludes Section 4, Part 5, Litter and Recycling. Please continue to Module Section 4, Part 5, Positioning Activities Culminating Civil War Simulation.